Okay, hello everybody, I'm Patrick Chanezon from Google, and today we have Steve Repetti, Chairman and CTO of 5th Generation at Mashup Camp. Hi Steve, how are you doing?
I'm okay, how about yourself?
Yeah, great, it's a great conference here.
Dave Berlin puts on an awesome conference, it really is great.
Always. So tell me a little bit more about yourself and what Zude is doing.
Well, Zude, was really a way to show off our technology. We're technology guys and play in the world of servers and databases and dynamic content, and as it turns out, web-enabled canvases, which is really what Zude is. And Zude was created as a way to show off our technology, and then somewhere along the line it took on a life of its own. So what we're going to look at today is not the product Zude. You guys feel free to go there, Zude.com, but we're going to look at some of the technology behind it. And what we're doing now is we've created a canvas where you can bring in all kinds of mashups. They can communicate with each other, but then there's also this entire event handler, messaging, windowing system that's embedded in there so they can all work together. Now add to that things like data portability and OpenSocial and all of these other things with many tiers of security, and it gets kind of cool. So that's kind of what we're doing.
Wow, excellent. So tell me more about OpenSocial. Are you a container?
We're a feed provider and a container. We just announced yesterday the global support of Zude and OpenSocial, and then to show proof of concept with all of this, we went ahead and built a Facebook application and are pushing our Zude data into Facebook using OpenSocial as the communications protocol for all of that. And we're doing some interesting things there. Also, we created a PHP proxy so we can deliver any language, any server-side language into Facebook as well, but don't tell them that. So here's actually Facebook. Let's see. Let's go in the profile here. So we do a lot of integration components, but if we wander down, here we go right here. Here's actually the Facebook, our Facebook app, Zude Contacts, and that's live feed coming off of Zude in our servers in Miami, which are right next to your old servers, some of your old servers, I think. And that's using the OpenSocial specification. So then what we did is to support all of this, we also, let me see if I've got one of these guys. Let's go to Zude.com live. I spelled it wrong. That sucks. Sorry about that. Too many presentations. But if you go to Zude.com/OpenSocial, OpenSocial, there we go. Go there and you'll actually see discussion about that, and we also provide some of our source code to some of the aspects, some of the protocol support that we have as well. And then also what Zude's doing is kind of unusual for OpenSocial, is in our profile aspect under security, we actually have prevent data sharing with OpenSocial, so the users on an individual basis can determine whether they want to expose their information. And then if they do, how much of the information do they want? In Zude, it's not just a friends list, you also have friends and family and business and music and others, multiple contact lists. So we're providing very detailed granularity so the user can determine how much or how little that they actually want to share. When you take that OpenSocial as a concept related to data portability, that's the other significant release that we just made, and that is in the developers area of Zude. And again, we don't usually get to talk about this stuff, mostly it's all about the sexy stuff people do with Zude. We've got an entire developer suite API, all kinds of neat stuff with that, and along with that we have data portability. So now we're taking data sets of many different data sources, so user, public, private data, contact list, activities, all sorts of stuff, and then we're providing multiple different formats, XML, JSON, vCard, HCard, etc., and then we're rendering all of this in real time so that all of the information is available, and then you can do stuff with this. So for example, if I wanted to if I wanted to take any kind of particular data, I could drag it directly on to the website, and and Zude, our container object, sees what that data is and goes, oh, I know what that is, so it automatically renders it into a widget and lets it do all sorts of stuff. So lots more to it. I'm going to give a presentation here shortly that's be a little bit more in depth, but that was a quickie.
Wow, that's excellent. Tell me a little bit more details about your OpenSocial implementation. So you're a container, you add a lot of privacy controls for end users.
Yeah.
And then, how about the example you talked about while running a Zude application on Facebook?
On Facebook, right.
If I'm an OpenSocial application developer and I run my app on Zude, does it mean I'll be able to run it on Facebook as well?
Well, there's a really neat product, as you probably know, OpenSocket, which has created a really neat container object for OpenSocial. Obviously, our interest is in Zude from that standpoint. So what we've done is when you're talking about the security aspects, it's particularly related to Zude as a provider, data provider. So our feed section is all governed by the security settings of global settings, and then at the individual user level, and there's some subsets that we can control in there as well. But it allows us to be very, very granular. A user can say, I don't want anything to be available on OpenSocial. I only want these things to be available in OpenSocial, and they can get a lot of command of that. And it was one of the concerns that we saw people out there with OpenSocial being concerned about, well, I don't want my data going out all there. Well, I don't think they should really be concerned, but if they feel better by having access to that, then we absolutely agree, that they should have that granularity.
I understand.
Yeah. So again, Zude.com/OpenSocial. We provide some source code, some examples, some discussion, and we're just, from the feeds provider, we've gone global. This isn't a sandbox server. This isn't, held back. This is global. Have at it, and we hope to continue to provide innovations in this area as we go forward. We'll be at Web 2.0 as well. We've got a whole nother slew of technological announcements, which include more OpenSocial. So stay tuned.
Excellent. I really look forward to hear that.
Great. Awesome.
Do you have any advice for developers who would start creating these social applications today?
Well, I think right now, if you're active in the community, I think there's a real good opportunity. The OpenSocial is still coalescing. It's the whole initiative, and therefore, if you're a significant developer out there and you want to influence it, now's your chance. Don't sit on the sidelines, and oh my gosh, 0.6 is great except for these things. Well, don't say that. Get involved. Be active. Be a part of this. This is the time to be an activist, and it's great. And Google has been very responsive of that, and we see evolution over the iterations of that, and that's great. That really is great. So we're excited from that end. So.
Okay. Hey, thanks very much, Steve.
Okay. Thanks.